Anyways, so I was just listening to this trafficking um, briefing on my Wattpad page that I got going on, and they are telling the truth a little bit, but it sounds a little fishy to me. But anyways, it's still going to be there for it to be shared because remember, if it ain't about you, it's going to sound normal. The only way it won't sound normal is when it sounds like it's about you. Okay? So, number one is uh, for the ladies who are going through it, and for the death threats, I'd rather take death. And that's honest. I've told these people several times. Several times. You know, the only thing scary about it is not knowing how they going to kill you. Because they like to use whatever, they feel like me. I carry knives usually. I haven't carried one in a while because I haven't been able to have a knife. Shit, I mean, broke a little bit, paying stuff or whatever. And plus, I was always at home when I was there, you know. And so, anyways, but I'd be carrying some scissors. So, anyways, at my old apartment that I got put out of for not having sex, they would put stab wounds in my walls and in my doors. So they'll take knives and stab up my walls and my doors. So that's telling me right there that when I don't listen, and they finally commit the death, more likely it's going to be by stabbing, And it does sound scary and it possibly will hurt. But you know what hurt worse? Knowing that we got a country that is turning people into legal slaves. And they're trying to make you be that slave for sex and any other form that they want you to be a slave of. And I would rather die than do that. Do you see half these men and what they look like? A lot of these men do not take care of themselves. They get off of work, they won't wash up, they won't wash their hands, they won't do a lot of shit. And then once you become their whore and forced into whoredom with them, they don't have to wear condoms if they don't want to. And you got to put up with that too. So that means that's your chance of AIDS, of any disease that is uncurable out there that you can get. So either way it goes, you're going to end up facing death. Any way the wind blows, you're going to end up facing death. Because they got an option. They'll use them condoms or not. And a lot of times, men don't want to use the condoms. Trust me, I've been there. I know that for a fact. So you're facing death anyway. And you can't always go to the police. Trust me, I know that too. You think I would have went as far as calling the FBI if I knew the police had a handle? I always start in the community first before I take it further and further. I start in the community first. And when I see that the community, the police for the community is not helping, then I take it to a next step. And then when I see that don't work, then I take it to the next step. And my next step was the FBI. And we're going to see what they do. You can't keep making news articles and briefings talking about sex and human trafficking and all this, but still keep condoning it. Because that's what it seemed like. It's still being condoned. When they leave cans around you, when you say, I don't want to do this, I ain't got to do this, and you see pop cans around you, that means Oh, yes, we can, and yes, you can. And that's what they've been doing to me. It means, oh, yes, you can, and yes, we can. That's what that means. And they're saying the police, and I've seen the police, give them permission to do this shit. Because, like they said, how big the money is. But that's bullshit. How you gonna turn people into what did you abolish slavery for in the first place then? Wasn't slavery a big business back then? Wasn't it? You had slave farms. I need to that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna look up the slave farms. And then let them tell you in the slave farms, when it was with black people, how they was making these women breed children just to raise them to slave them, to build for them, to build on their land, to build on their property. So it was a big business back then, and you still ended it. What's the difference now? What's the difference now? Now, I'm not trying to hear that money shit. Because you should have kept slavery back then. If you knew you was going to restart this shit up in a few more years after it died down, then you should have just kept it the way it was. Because these black people don't mind being slaves, being slave masters to other blacks. So I'm sure some of them would have agreed with you. But maybe it wasn't enough of them that was able to become slave masters. So they had to fight for the freedom. And then now that they're free, now they're able to become the slave masters. You understand? So, anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. Sometimes you just got to take the death, take the consequence. Take it. Because you're going to die anyway. I mean, when I made it back to Fort Wayne, out of all the places I've been in this trafficking shit, there was an old white couple. It was like, I went into the gas station to get some ice. It was like, I can't believe that. And she right, this is how they communicate with walkie-talkies and everything, through phones and all that, in a matter of seconds. And they were like, we can't believe she made it through it. And the old white lady was like, well, she is a fighter. But they didn't mean I'm a fighter like physically. They meant that I'm a fighter like spiritually. Because it was a lot of times when these men beat my face in, especially the last man, even the hospital didn't even know how I didn't have marks or survived. He beat the shit out of me. Hard as hell. And not just him, the previous men before then. I got jumped. They made sure that they didn't hit nothing on my body while I was drunk, but only all around my head. Now, mind you, when you drinking and getting hit on around your head, there's a better chance that you will die. Because you're drunk and you know what alcohol do to your brain and all that. You understand? And I didn't. I just woke up the next day with a very bad, severe headache. You know. But this is everything that happens. And this is true. You know. So, like they say for the United States of America, give me liberty or give me death.